Hey, good morning, y'all. I am out here warming my car up, fixing to take something to my son. I wanted to go on and get it when he got off of work, and that way he'd have the rest of his day. And I thought, well, while I'm warming up, I would bring these questions out here and do this tag video. So yesterday, Kathy over at Kathy's WW Journey, her link will be in my description box, tagged me on this little bit of everything tag is what it's called. And these questions, they are a little bit of everything. So let's just go on and get started. What time do you go to bed? My bedtime is different every night. It depends on if I decide to go to bed or if I just sit there and fall out. Which most of the time I just sit there and fall out. And then next thing I know, I'm like, oh, okay, you were asleep when I wake up. Well, last night I decided I needed to go to bed because it was just one of those days. So last night's bedtime was somewhere between 8:30 and 9. It was ridiculously early. Then, I am shaking because it's cold out here. Yeah, that's it. Just whenever I sit there and, fall asleep. You can only choose one fast food restaurant. What would it be? Well, if I could only have one for the rest of my life, it would have to be Whataburger. That is our local. It's in 3 little towns here. We're all like clumped together. And it's our local favorite. It's not the same one as Texas. I don't know how they ended up with the same name, not sure, but they're totally not the same restaurant. But they have a footlong all the way that is my favorite hot dog, because hot dogs are my favorite food. And if I had to go without one of those, I don't even want to think about it. What part of your body could use some lotion? That one's easy too, and that is my big old friend Flintstone feet. They rough, y'all. They rough. I need to get a pedicure, but I'm embarrassed to let anybody see them. When things break, do you fix or replace? Well, I do both. If it's something I can fix, I will try. Duct tape, man's best friend. I'll do anything I can think to do with duct tape and a butter knife. Those are the two best tools in my drawer in there. Sometimes though, I just want something new. I won't even try to fix it. Just depends on what it is. Now, like my Keurig, it was dying and I couldn't fix it. It's not fixable. Maybe if you send it somewhere, but then you could just afford to buy a new one. So in that case, I bought a new one. But yeah, it just depends on what it is. If you had all the money in the world, what would be the first thing you buy? The first thing I would buy is my immediate family, my kids, my mom and my brother. I would either buy them a house or pay the current mortgage they have, and that includes my husband. I would pay his mortgages. Then I'll make sure everybody had a brand new car, because those are the two things. And then after that, I would go and stock everybody's freezer and pantry and refrigerator up. So those are the 3 things I would do, is to set my family up with the basic necessities of life: shelter, transportation, and food. Let's see. Would you rather keep your same sleep schedule or hibernate for 3 months and have the other 9 months of 24/7 alertness without being tired? Now, I am tired 24 hours a day because I sleep 4 hours a night. So I am perpetually tired. I nod off. I tell you, my bedtime is when I nod off. I nod off all day long. I nod off with food in my mouth. I'm not joking. I have nodded off sitting at the kitchen table, eating. I have fell asleep, my head down, and that's when I catch it, and I'm sitting there with food in my mouth. It's still better than losing 3 solid months of your life, I think. I would not want to put a whole 3 months clumped together of having no life. I would rather take what chunks I have of sleeping or nodding off or whatever and just disperse them out throughout the year. So that's the way I'd go. Oh boy. have you ever cried at a movie? Name it. We don't have time to name the movies I cry at. It does not matter if it is something cryable or not, because I will cry at it. Y'all have been on my channel. You know I can get a thought in my head and here comes the tears. So yeah, I cry at everything. All the movies. I don't even know. And I don't go see sappy movies. See, that's just it. I don't do girly flicks. I don't do chick flicks. I don't do those whatsoever. I don't do Hallmark movies. None of that. I just, as sentimental as a person I am, you think I would. But this is my reasoning. This is the truth. I cannot face going into something that I know for a fact is going to hit me here and make me cry. I can't do it. I just can't do it. So I avoid it. At all costs, I just avoid it. I go for the action, the comedy, stuff like that. Is never returning something you borrowed stealing. I think it can be both, because if you borrow it knowing you're not going to turn it back, you stole it. If you borrow it and you forget about it, legit forget about it, and then a lot of times the person that loaned it to you, they forget about it. I don't think that's stealing. I think that's just, it just happens. Put the two together. If you borrowed something with intention of returning it, you forget, and then all of a sudden you remember, like, oh hey, I got Joe's weed eater, and you're like, I'm not gonna return it. Well, then that's stealing too. Would you rather have a clogged nose or a piece of green food stuck in your teeth? Well, I've had both, and I keep a clogged nose. I don't know if it's allergies or what it is, but I will take that food stuck in my teeth any day, because when you have a clogged nose, you cannot sleep with a CPAP. So food every time. Then let's see, the last one. What is something you learned this past week? I just learned that when I was seeing the cardiologist. He had me laying back on they got these cool doctor's chairs up there where they're motorized, and so you sit low and then they can tilt you back or however, and then they raise you and lower you. Those are new to me. I'm used to just plain on doctor's tables you climb on. So anyway, he had me, and I was just kind of reclined back. He said, hold your head up. So I hold my head up. He starts looking right here. So he said, this is my jugular. He said, yours is down here. Then he pushes on my belly. I'm just kind of like, okay, you're a cardiologist and you're pushing on my belly. Come to find out, because he's explaining to me, you can tell, and you nurses know this, so I'm not teaching you anything. He said you can tell by a person's jugular if they're retaining fluid inside. So like this lymphedema fluid that I'm in my legs, my arm, my belly, that's a whole different fluid than what's inside your body, like around your heart. Pushing on that belly makes him be able to see better. So I'm like, it's like squeezing a water balloon. So I learned, you look at somebody's jugular and tell if they're retaining fluid inside. I thought that was pretty interesting. Okay, well, I've got to get my heat on. I think I was sitting out here the other day talking to y'all, freezing to death, so I'm going to get my heat on. And I'm going to tag Joan over at Joan's Point and Plate and Denise over at Dish with D. So go print your answers out. I'll have them down below, and I can't wait to see what you say. All right, thanks y'all. Bye.